Welcome to the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com for the Thursday, April 10th card. I'm Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman. Going to take a look at the feature race, as we do on each of these podcasts, and also the late pick four. So we'll start with the eighth race. It's an allowance race, the feature, and a nice group that have come together for this race. How did you see it shaking out?
Yeah, I changed my mind after I looked at it. My first impression was I just looked down at Dynamic Sky, the 7-horse from Mark Cassidy, and I looked at the back class there, and I thought, this one's pretty easy, coming out of the Queen's Plate, but hasn't run since July of last year. That was the last race he ran in, so I'm going to think he needs one here. So I went with Bulldozer. I looked at the last race at Oaklawn, and I actually bet him there, and I singled him in a pick 3, and he went off at 4-5, and he never really got to the track. I don't know what happened because he likes Oaklawn, but Brett Calhoun should have this horse ready, and he's run well in synthetic in the past. He had a 96 buyer here last fall and a 7-furlong sprint. Coming back to 6.5 furlongs, I think it sets up really well. And going from Barry to Miguel Mena, who's won on him before, I think Bulldozer is a good bet here. I'm going to key him on top in the trifectas with Prince d'Argent from Christophe Clement's barn, a French horse. I hope I pronounced that correctly, the 6-horse, with Rosario up for Clement. That's got to be a good pairing, and first time out in North America at Gulfstream, made the lead and then kind of gave it up at the end, but I think he would carry that speed a little further today than 6.5 furlong. And we'll see how he does on the poly. I'm not sure how he's going to do there because he's always been a turf horse. He had one synthetic race way back when in December 2012, but you always got to look at Rosario and Clement. The other horse that I liked was Dynamic Sky. I would put him underneath Bulldozer and the 6-horse.
I ended up taking Dynamic Sky. He loves Keeneland, and the Cassie horses are running so well. The layoff's it's an understandable concern, but I'm going to take Dynamic Sky as the key horse for me and exact as Bulldozer. I will use Console, the 8. I liked a good bit, and the 9 Occasional View, who's also entered in a stake on Saturday, so I don't know which spot he'll go in, but Dynamic Sky is my pick in the 8th, the feature on Thursday. Now let's take a look at the late pick 4, which will start in the 6th race. And I ended up liking some prices in this sequence. So this thing hits the right way. It could pay nice. And I thought this first race was really difficult. I ended up going with Derby Kitten on the class drop and run well here before. But I think Dreams Cut Short loves the track. I like Chalice. I like Exploring. And I would even throw Grip Hands in for Graham Motion. So 8 is the key horse, Derby Kitten, but then 9, 6, 7, and 4. So I'd use all 5 of those. Then in the next leg, I'm going to use a big price Seasoned Warrior. I thought he improved in his first race for Cassie and then got burned up in a hot pace last time. And his horses coming out of Oaklawn have Coastline was one of those who didn't run well at Oaklawn, but came back and ran big in the Spiral. So this horse, I'm thinking, could do that. Previous and Olympic Avenue are out on the outside, 12 and 10 respectively, that I also like. So the 5 I mentioned, plus 9, 10, 12 in this leg. Then to keep the ticket under $50, I'd single Dynamic Sky. If you want to go a little more, then I'd add Console, the 8, Bulldozer, the 3, depending on your budget. And then in the last race, I like another price. Just kind of taking a little bit of a swing here with Duro, if that's how that's pronounced, the 3. Merrill Shearer does well in these claiming sprints here. Hernandez is one of his go-to riders, and that's all coming together in this spot. So don't know if the horse will win. I'm just thinking he'll run well, and I'm going to take a shot in key him around him in exactas. But for the purposes of the pick 4, I'd use that one plus the 9 Simonize, the 5 Drama Coach, and the 2 Sneaky Blowout. So 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 with 9, 10, 12. With 7, with 2, 3, 5, 9 to keep it under $50. But if you want to go a little deeper in that 8th leg, those other 2 I mentioned would be the others I would use. What about you?
I didn't keep it under $50. The first race, I don't have a clue. I mean, I'm serious. Chalice was probably my top pick, but there's no way that I would let another horse beat me in this race. So I'm going all in that race.
There you go.
I think that's just, and it makes it a pick 3, and then it becomes a picking contest among the other 3. And I would use 7-12 in the 7th race, the Ultimate Shopper. They're going to be the chalk, but I think just this race sets up a little more chalky than the others. 7-12 is Ultimate Shopper and Previous, 2 lightly raced horses or fillies that have done really well at Gulfstream and Aqueduct. So I go all with 7-12. The three horses I mentioned, Bulldozer, Prince d'Argent, and Dynamic Sky in the feature race, 3-6-7. And then I would just go 2-5 in the last race with Maker's two horses. I really like Drama Coach. If I had to single, I would single that horse dropping out of an allowance race to 20,000. But the horse on the inside, Sneaky Blowout, for also Michael Maker. I'm going to take Maker's both horses in that last leg. So all with 7-12, with 3-6-7, with 2-5. I believe that's $66.
And a reminder that we got two great stakes races, stakes cards coming up Friday and Saturday. The Maker's 46 Mile, headlined by two-time Horse of the Year Wise Dan on Friday, and then I think 5 stakes races on Saturday, headlined by the Grade 1 Toyota Bluegrass Stakes. A full field of 14 will go there. So keep your Keeneland Select account fully funded so you can take advantage of all the great opportunities. We'll have another podcast on Friday for the Keeneland Makers 46 card. Then on Saturday, we'll do 2 podcasts, one for the Keeneland races, the stakes races there, and then a separate one for the stakes out at Oaklawn, headlined by the Arkansas Derby. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach. This is the Keeneland Select in the Money podcast.